Hi, I'm Jan, creator of Foppies France on YouTube.
And I'm Sharon, guardian of 2 cats and 2 chickens.
Welcome to our podcast. What did I come in here for?
And we're here to share with you our lives, loves, musings and mutterings.
We are Menopause friends living in rural France. We'd like to share with you our lives here, and we'll be exposing ourselves by talking about what we get up to on a daily basis and just being us. Hello, welcome to our podcast.
Hello.
I'm Jan.
I'm Sharon.
So let's start this podcast by... What have you been doing this week, Sharon?
Well, I've not been at my best, but I've done a fair bit of sleeping.
Yeah.
But I managed to do my activities. We've had 2 walks this week, which is good.
Is that what's made you so tired, or...?
I don't know if it's a combination of that or... I wasn't well last week, I was a little bit under the weather, I think.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, it just...
I can, see my welfare is top of your agenda. Yeah, so we had 2 walks, didn't we?
We have had 2 walks,
So
yeah.
where did Monday, just around Lessay, I think.
Yeah, and that was, I don't know, what did we do, about 6,000 steps?
Yes.
Which is, we're down on our numbers, but then we
Yeah.
haven't walked for a while.
But it was clear and sunny and it's been so wet and miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on Wednesday we went to Prix-en-Paix, which is about half an hour away.
Yeah, it's less than half an hour, but yeah, it's about that sort of
And
distance.
they've got a nice charity shop there called Helianthus.
This is one of those weeks where we've spent more time together, haven't we?
Yes.
Because for some reason, some
Yeah.
weeks it just doesn't
Yeah.
happen, does it?
So we had a walk around Prix-en-Paix, which is nice because we found this before, didn't we? This kind of...
A proper walk.
What am I doing? Snaking?
It looks like you're snaking, but I don't think we did that. I think we went straight, actually.
It was quite a straight path,
Yes.
but it was path off the main road. And there's a nice charity shop there which supports local animals and pays for...
Oh, it's for the cats to be neutered, or is it neutered, or is it
neutered or
sterilised?
spayed.
I suppose I
it
forgot the
covers
words.
all so they pay for that for people who can't afford it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stray cats here.
Yeah,
so,
they paid for Wendy's, which was...
Yeah.
Well, they were going to.
Well, Wendy wasn't spayed.
Wendy was spayed
Wendy's cat.
recently. Pay for Wendy's.
Wendy's an elderly friend of ours. I don't think she really needs it.
Oh dear, yeah, she took in a stray cat, but in fact she'd already been sterilised. The cat.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Not Wendy.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, but they were going to pay for it for her. So that was good, and I dropped off a load of English DVDs.
Did you buy anything?
Yes, I did. I bought 2 balls.
Christmas bowls.
Really nice. They're only €1 each, but they were kind of dumpling size.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a very big dumpling.
Right, sort of 38 double Ds.
Yeah.
It's the way they're holding my hands.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But they're glass. They're painted red.
So
but they are
scary.
glass. They're in my fruit bowl at the moment. I think they're actually too heavy for Marco to flip off the surface, but you never know with him. And I bought a book, which was Bob Mortimer's autobiography.
Oh, yeah, because you're not usually into that, aren't you? But that's another podcast. And I bought a pair of wacky trousers. They're like patchwork, which I thought they looked like they could have been homemade, but they weren't. You could tell by the label that it wasn't.
Kind of thing you find in like hippie
sort of shops and that, yeah.
Definitely pine needles, aren't they? This is going to be another feature.
So Sharon's just clearing her pocket while she speaks to me.
Well, I've been getting lots of clothes out for the first time.
From last winter.
From last winter. What have I found so far? I found some seeds, didn't I?
Yeah, seeds, and now pines off her.
Yeah.
It's quite possible they could have come from the Christmas tree 2 years ago.
Yeah, because I had an artificial last year.
And they've just got caught in the pocket and you didn't notice last year. But anyway, so I got these trousers.
And a couple of books.
And I got a couple of books for my daughter, because we've been watching, so that's another thing, we was going to talk about what we watched on telly.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this week I've been watching, Duncan have been watching his Dark Materials. Philip from the Philip Pullman's books, and I think you said it's been around a while, haven't you? But we've only just found it on the channel we've been watching.
Yeah, because I think I watched the first series when I was still in the UK. So
so it's a little while ago,
Yeah.
and we're really enjoying it. And I remembered when I saw it was Philip Pullman, I messaged my daughter to say, guess what we're watching, and she said, oh, it's made me want to buy the books again. And then we just go to the charity shop and I saw 2 of them, but not the one of the actual episodes we're watching now.
Yeah.
But so we've got that for her as well. But so we didn't buy loads, but we've put some money in the charity, and you've donated loads. So
Yes.
and as I come home, I found that there was something by the front door that I should have donated that I didn't realise. That shower shelf thing that Duncan said, take that to the charity shop, and I didn't.
Yeah. Well.
So what have you been watching this week?
I've been watching something called Slow Horses on Apple TV, which is a kind of spy drama. It's about MI5, and actually, the MI5 building is really quite posh, and down the road there's a sort of reject building where people who have actually fallen out of favour or maybe past their best in MI5 go and work in there.
Oh.
And these are the slow horses. So it's
right. So it sounds a bit callous, but I mean, I assume if they're in the MI5 or whatever it is, they know that it's coming to them at some point.
Not necessarily. They're there for all kinds of reasons. I mean, the guy who's in charge of it, you don't know much about him, but he's a grumpy old soldier who doesn't wash, eats a lot of takeaways, and really doesn't leave his office. He sleeps in there as well. His shirt's very dirty, but he's hilarious. And it's Gary Oldman.
Is it meant to be funny?
It has a serious side to it, but his character is he's so funny. I love Gary Oldman anyway. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's good.
But in this, he's just this slovenly old bloke. He's really funny. But there's a woman there's there because she punched her boss in the face. There's another, the IT guy is just so arrogant. Everyone refuses to work with him. So he's there. So they're all these kind of rejects.
Oh,
yeah.
Not nice to be there, but then I suppose you're amongst...
Well, some of them are like whatever. Others are fighting to get out all the time. They really want to be back
deserve
in the...
better, yeah.
Yeah, the young guy who's, again, one of the main characters, he made a mistake in the big building. He says he was set up. I think he was probably right. So he got shipped out, but he's desperate to be back in the thick of it, if you like. So,
I'll have to look out for that one.
Yeah, it's really good.
And what have I been watching? Apart from that, I've been watching a few different things, but I need to do if we're going to tell people this every week, I need to start writing it down, don't I? Anyway, other than that, what else was we... Oh no, any good dreams this week, Sharon?
There are always good dreams.
This is true. Sharon has the weirdest dreams.
I do.
So we thought it's worth sharing with you.
Well, the one earlier in the week was Donald Trump shot me from a car, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, shot at me. It was very unsuccessful.
I received a message saying Donald Trump shot me last night. So, can you imagine?
I do have this habit of not telling everyone it's about a dream. I used to do it to my kids.
Yeah. Well, I think it didn't take me long to realise you hadn't gone to America or Trump hadn't been here to shoot you.
Well, it was in Plumstead, South East London.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was in the house that we
Okay.
lived in. Yeah. But last night, there was like a kind of parallel dream, as there often is. Oh no, there was 3 strands, actually. One strand was I had 3 cats that all had kittens on the same day. Different colours, they were lovely. Also, I was working at one of my previous jobs, and I don't know why, but this colleague from this job turned up to see the kittens, I think, and she brought a photo. It wasn't even a photo, it was a photocopy of a photo.
Oh, right.
And said, oh, so-and-so, I won't name these people because they do exist in real life, so-and-so's just had a baby. And I took one look at this picture and I went, oh, that's the image of the CEO.
Right.
That
Yeah.
they've been having an affair and he got her pregnant.
Oh.
And by the time I went back into work the next day, it was all round the building. Oh, this is so-and-so's baby. But this baby, this photocopy of this baby, was literally an old man's face. Because he had receding hairline and everything.
Oh, how
just
creepy.
Yeah. So that was that. But also, along with that, was a strand of another job I'd worked in.
Right.
And this was one, I think a lot of people have these dreams where you're in the wrong place, or you keep missing someone, or you forget your bag or your keys, and it's that kind of, And it was my ex-husband. I was meant to be meeting him downstairs at the bottom of the building. I could see him when I was looking down, but when I got down he wasn't there, so I went back up. And there was a lot of this to and fro, and then I didn't have my keys or any money to get home because he was anyway, all that going on. But the interesting thing was, every time I went into this building, it was huge, like it was almost like a big hospital building, you know, giant sort of modern building. There was a different way of getting up. So there was these kind of revolving door lifts that you had to jump into. And then at one stage...
Jump into?
Yeah, they just kind of, you know, like revolving doors, but they were a bit like a tombola.
I know, yeah.
You had to dive in. And then
so you'll be quite nimble in this place, really.
Yes, but then there was this other thing that was a bit like, I can't explain it. It was a long corridor, but you got sucked along it at high speed. So you'd come out of the lift, whoo, and then you'd be on the sucky corridor, and you just have to try and keep your balance while you were being on this corridor. But every time I went up and down, there was a different mode of transport. It was very strange.
What had you been washing before you went to bed?
That spy thing.
Oh. How weird.
No, it didn't relate to anything. I might try and do a drawing of the baby.
Oh, what, just to show me? Because they can't see it, obviously,
No.
the listeners.
If I'm not explaining it right, but it was supposedly
But
a baby, but it was an old man.
I can imagine it's got an old face. Because sometimes they say babies look like old men when
Well,
they're
this
born.
was an old man. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that sounds a bit creepy.
Yeah.
Right, well, you know what I'm like. I don't remember my dreams. So unless it's the night before, I'm very rarely going to be able to tell people my dreams because
If you wake
I
up
do
in the
forget.
night, you should try and write
I
it.
should try and write it down.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I'll get the
to
phone
do.
out and record it.
Yeah. You never guess what's just happened.
I've had a dream recently where it was just, I ended up crying my eyes out, and that was really upsetting, and I was convinced, even in my dream, I'm thinking I'm going to wake up with a wet face because I really felt it was real. It was really upsetting.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, a lot of my dreams are involving, I've lost my car, or I've lost my keys, or one of the worst ones is where you're trying to get to somewhere and you can't get there because your legs won't let you almost. Or I fly quite a lot in my dreams.
What, physically yourself?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
My friend Jackie used to love dreams. She was always flying.
Yeah, I don't know why, but...
I've flown a lot in very small planes, almost like a mini one-person helicopter.
So you're just wrapped in this plane, really, yeah. So I know what you mean, yeah.
And I'm just kind of like a bubble car, a bit in the air.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times, but I've never actually flown myself.
Yeah, no, I did, and it's weird because in those usually I'm flying fine, but I, for some reason, can't land. I just can't seem to land anywhere, and I just then get frustrated because obviously I want to stop. I can't fly forever. But anyway, so on to the subject in hand. Is that the right word?
In hand?
Probably not. But we're talking about our guilty pleasures. You want to hit off with one, Sharon?
Well, yes. The way I get to sleep.
Yes.
This is strange. And I get to sleep listening to a range of serial killer programs or disaster movies. I do like a good serial killer documentary, whether I'm getting to sleep or not. So I like Forensic Files. Things like that. I do watch some fictional ones, but I do prefer the documentaries.
You like to know it's real.
Yeah. And then because they're so familiar to me, especially that series, I can use them to get to sleep.
Yeah, see, that's what I find really hard but I suppose, because I don't watch things more than once, do I, generally? Very rarely watch things again, even because I always feel like the second time it's going to spoil my viewing. I think that's probably what it is. Yeah, I can understand if you know it that well.
Yeah, I need the familiarity because I don't want to lay in bed watching it I want to use it to drift off to sleep. Yeah.
So do you find yourself listening to it more than watching it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose you think, oh, I've seen it all before, so I'll just listen.
Yeah. I've got several disaster movies that I use on a regular basis.
What's your favourites then?
Day After Tomorrow.
And that is a horrible one, isn't it? From what I remember.
It starts with climate change. There's a lot of flooding and then ice age.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it, but that's obviously not one I would watch. I don't like disasters, do I?
No, but but I know odd quotes from it as well.
It's quite sad in a way, but
and my kids know what I'm talking about as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you said it to me, I'd be going, "What?"
Yeah, you know.
So that's something you could do at Christmas, actually. You could say lines from a film. What film was it?
Oh, yeah. My kids are far too easy. And their partners are
Probably,
going, what the hell's going on here?
It's funny how you're all really into films and how in your family.
Yeah. Fee and Kyle are both studied film.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's quite natural, comes natural to them. Yeah, any other
Let
favourites?
Jason operate the drill.
What sort of drill was that?
It's one of those drills that gets those ice cores out.
Oh, yes.
And then later they meet Terry Rapson, who's a professor. And he says, "Oh, Professor Rapson, I've read your book on ocean currents."
It's not even an exciting line, is it?
No.
It's bizarre. So what's your other favourites?
Disaster. I watch Titanic a lot.
I like that.
Yeah, but you're a romantic.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Whereas you like it because it's disaster.
I prefer the sinking to anything else.
If any of you have watched the first or listened to the first podcast, you know that there's lots of opposites. So you will get to know that. Yeah.
And I've got some space films in there as well. Now I've got what's the one where they meet the aliens? Oh, it's not really breaking it down far, is it?
Not really.
Oh, where she has to work out the language that the aliens are speaking.
Oh! You see, I like that one as well.
Got Hawkeye in it from Marvel.
It's some normal...
Just a word, isn't it?
Yeah,
Have a look
some
now
sort
on
of,
the list.
like... I don't know. I want to say meeting. I don't know what it's not, is it? It's...
I think it's something very similar to that. Let's look in the library.
Yeah, I can't
Arrival.
think. That's it.
Very
I was
close.
very close, wasn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Da Vinci Code, The Martian.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember you saying about that before. That's quite a sort of one I can imagine, because The Martian's quite a slow film, isn't it? Being it's just one person, but it's still good. Yeah. See me, I'm just currently listening to noise. I did try relaxing music and stuff, but the music after a while starts to irritate me because it's obviously quite repetitive. Whereas I'm listening to brown, pink, purple, deep brown. I don't know why they have to have colours, but I'm listening to that colour noise.
Yes, I think
it started off with white noise, didn't
it?
it?
Yeah.
And I do find that quite soothing. And if I happen to open my eyes during the night, and it's just like a buzzing in your ear almost. And it makes you sort of think about people with tinnitus, but then they do them things to relieve people's tinnitus.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I found some on YouTube the other day, so I don't know whether people that we know, like I know Sue, she suffers with it. I just wonder whether she'd ever tried it. But so these people say they've tried everything, but have they really? Anyway, so yeah, that's what I get to sleep with.
What about one of your guilty pleasures then?
One of my guilty pleasures, I suppose the main one is spending time up here in the loft where we are now, crafting really. And I feel guilty some days being here, especially on the days where I've just literally had my coffee, come upstairs and not done anything downstairs. But that is so rare, because it's a guilty pleasure. I like to make sure I've tidied up downstairs.
It's always good to have a tidy downstairs.
It is. And so I like to make sure I've tidied up. In the winter, sometimes I try and make sure I've at least brought the wood in, because otherwise by the time I leave the loft or Duncan comes home, I'll suddenly think wish I'd got the wood in then. If I haven't, we'll go down and get it anyway. And empty the dishwasher, fill the dishwasher, because I haven't always cleared which to me I hate doing. Hate going to bed, leaving the stuff on the side. So.
Oh, I'm quite happy to do that.
Whereas I like to make sure sometimes I'll put it on just before I go to bed. In which case, I mean, most days anyway, the dishwasher needs emptying in the morning, so I do that. And then
make your beds, Jan, because
that I can do that on my way back upstairs. See, so it's clear up downstairs. I don't go to the extent always of dusting and hoovering, not that extent. I just like to know I've left it tidy, and the dishwasher's done, as I say. And then if I know there's washing dry in the utility room, I like to take it off the dryer, fold it, put it on the shelf. But because I've got it's in the utility room, I can shut the door on it and forget, even though in my mind I'm thinking that ironing really needs doing, but I can sort of forget about it. What else? I think that's generally, as long as all of that's done, then I can come upstairs, and on my way to the loft I'll know that the beds aren't made, and I can't leave the beds unmade.
No, you can't leave the house with beds unmade.
No, I did say we went to chair fit yesterday, and I nearly left the house having not made the beds, and I go to walk away and I can't do it. Even if I have to do it in a rush, I have to do it, even if it makes me late for chair fit.
I haven't made my bed for about a fortnight.
Oh, Sharon! Oh my God, the thoughts of that! You're not joking. Are you joking?
Well, why not?
Well, I know it's
I'm
not.
just going to get back in it. No one else is.
Oh yeah, but there's nothing more satisfying than getting back into the bed that's been made, even more so freshly made.
Oh, I love a fresh sheet.
New bed linen and everything. It's fresh smell.
That's a
and
guilty pleasure.
yes,
It
but I
has
think
to
that
be
probably is for
all-free.
most people. I'd have thought.
It has to be all free though. It has to be a bath, clean jammies.
Oh yes, that is luxury, isn't it? Yeah.
That's lovely.
Well, when I had a bath, I used to enjoy that. But I mean, the shower's second best, I suppose, if you do that. And it, but yeah, that's really good. So yes, but once all that's done, I'm quite happy to come up to the loft, and it's my happy place. So
Yeah, but I don't think you should feel guilty about that.
you keep telling me that, and I keep thinking, yes, you're right, but I still do it.
Do you want written on your grave, Jan was always up to date with her ironing?
Or at least they made the beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of all those wasted hours.
Yeah, I know.
Where
I know.
what you really want is Jan was creative and imaginative and made lovely crafty things
After
for her
she'd made the
grandchildren.
bed.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
All right then, give us another one of yours pleasures.
Chocolate. Anything sweet, to be honest, but yeah. I was very good yesterday.
Was you?
I think it's because I was tired, but I didn't stop at Super U on the way back from French, which I do quite often.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I didn't have any chocolate yesterday. I did have a big bag of Maltesers the day before, didn't I?
Yeah.
But yes, I'm a bit of a chocolate fiend. I think of it as medicine.
And recently you've used the excuse of I've got to eat them, basically got to eat them quick because otherwise the cat will get them.
Oh, she's been awful lately. I think I need to take her to the vet again. My cat is, well, she's old. She's 15 next year. She's about 14 and a half now. She's a diabetic. She's been diabetic for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, it must be 4 or 5 now.
So she has insulin twice a day. And when we first realised there was a problem, she used to steal food all the time. You couldn't fill her up. She was losing weight like anything, and she would steal food out the bins, anything. And she's starting to get like that again. So she loves Maltesers. She's not allowed.
But we can
anything
sympathise
like
with this, really, can't we? Because she knows she can't have it and really just wants it, and we're a bit like that with certain foods, aren't we?
You think that's what's going on?
No, I'm just sympathising. That's all I'm saying. I'm just sympathising with Izzy. Every time you tell me she's stolen the food, I don't steal food, but I can imagine her feeling. Let me at it. You know?
Yes, yeah. So the other day she hooked a Malteser out of the bag while I was eating out of it, and has also stolen a whole slice of toast with a poached egg on it off my plate recently.
That
Do you know what she did
amazed
this
me when
morning?
you said that.
This morning I put her food down, And I quite often feed her before I let Marco in, because he's a out all night boy. So she gets time, because he will just shove her out of the way, and she has diabetic food. So I left her eating her food. I'd done his was on the side, needed to go to the loo, went up to the loo, come down, she'd ate both dishes full. So she'd ate hers, then got up on the work surface
She
and
must
ate
have gulped that down.
Marco's before I came back down again. So
Naughty
she's had
girl.
2 lots of food this morning, one of which wasn't diabetic food. Very
Could
bad
you-
at the moment.
What about, could Marco not have diabetic food?
He probably could.
I'm
It's
just wondering
expensive.
if that would make it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's more expensive. But
Yeah.
say that, but that would make it simpler and less of a worry for you.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as it's not doing him any harm, I can't imagine.
No, I think it's probably low carb, low cereal. I do tend to buy him food with a higher meat content and less cereal for that reason. So if she does eat some of his, it's going to do her less harm.
Yeah.
than
For the sake of
something
nothing, if you could make up for it, but for him, just give him a few snacks or something when she's not around or something, you know. But
she's always around. I mean,
yeah.
her eyesight's not very good at the moment, but you know, you tip from a scoop half a dozen little crunchy bits into his bowl. She's there. She hears that all right.
Wow.
Yeah, she knows. So that's my
So
excuse.
she's nimble enough to get there, even as old as she is.
Oh yes, yeah. So yes, that's why.
How did we get onto that?
Because you were saying
Talk about
that's
chocolate, and then we
my
got distracted. Yeah.
My excuse for eating too much
The
chocolate.
cats aren't a guilty pleasure. No.
I also say it's because I think I've got a naturally low serotonin level, and chocolate does contain serotonin.
Can that be proven in a blood test?
What, my serotonin levels?
Serotonin levels.
I've never had it checked.
But no, I mean it's because it is linked as well, though, isn't it, with mood and
Yes,
all that stuff.
yes, it's
That's
the
why
happy-
you
happy
say
hormone,
yeah.
And my.
But as I said to you in the
antidepressants.
message the other night, it's supposedly only temporary, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's nice at the time, but as long as it doesn't make you feel worse
No.
when it's gone
Yeah.
on the low end,
Yeah.
as it were.
But I do crave sweet things. But saying that, my sugar levels, so I've been tested for diabetes. Very good.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's right.
That's
Actually,
what
I've forgotten
annoyed
about
the
that.
hell out of you, didn't it?
Yeah, it's me. Mine were. I don't think mine were high, but I was just shocked
They
that
were
yours
higher,
were
weren't
because
they?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got such a sweet tooth.
But I
But
obviously
it's the same.
metabolise it
Same with
all right.
Duncan. He's got a really sweet tooth, but his was fine as well.
But he does burn his off. I can't say I do.
No, I suppose so.
He's very active, isn't he?
Yeah.
I just think my
He
body
did keep
metabolises
worrying
it.
about diabetes because of the fact that he's always so slim, and he's always gets tired very easy and always craves sugar. But like you say, that's all the tiredness and the fact he's the size he is because he's always on the go.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't
Basically.
rely on sugar for his
No.
energy levels.
I
Yeah.
try and get him to have healthy. He's getting really good actually. He
He's
just
better
tries
than
not.
he used to be.
Yeah, he doesn't have chocolate as much, but then that's because we're not buying it in the house because I try not to have it. So he's being really good actually, unless he's gone doing a crafty when he's at work and going and buying a bar of chocolate or something.
Oh, he may well
He could be, but I don't think so.
It's his guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I suppose mine are guilty pleasure, but I don't do it very often. Mine will be at weekends, and even though I'm like even at weekends. Weekends is when I have alcohol basically. I'll enjoy a drink at the weekend,
Yeah.
and it's when I tend to have my carbs because I'm telling myself I can't, depriving myself because of diet that I can't have carbs all week, so I really enjoy it. Like tonight is pizza night. Didn't you have a fact about pizza?
I did. I don't know if it's true, but it was on the internet, so it must be.
If Google says so, it must be true.
I think it was on. Was it on Instagram? There's been a study of rheumatoid arthritis, and one of the best diets that came out of it was the Italian diet. And they've drawn the conclusion, therefore, that pizza's good for you.
Yeah, see, I have to say my joints are doing quite well with this Friday night pizza, but it could be that people have twisted that Italian Mediterranean diet because they think of that
I
pizza is
think it
Italian.
was probably funded by Pizza Hut
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, or Domino's or one of
they made
them.
a link between reduction of rheumatoid arthritis.
Well, it's the same as with like coffee. 1 minute is really good for you, then it's not.
Yeah.
Red wine is really good for you, then it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Dark chocolate, I suppose that's one that's always been the same, isn't it? I always say dark chocolate's good for you. But it's hard to get a craving for dark chocolate, and it just gets rid of that. Sometimes it can be enough to get rid of your craving, sometimes. No, Sharon's shaking her head.
No, I'm a milky chocolate girl. Well, that one thing I do
Yeah.
is from the UK, and I think I've said it every time, is dairy milk. Dairy milk's my
Yeah, see, I
favourite
never
chocolate.
crave dairy milk. I would crave Galaxy.
Galaxy's alright. Milk is more like Galaxy, I always think.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
dairy
'cause
milk's
it's
got a
creamier.
distinctive flavour.
Funny, isn't it?
Love it.
Oh dear, I can't eat. Is there such a thing as I can't eat too much of dairy milk? It's just
Is
no.
there such a
It's,
thing as too much chocolate, were you going to say then? No, Jan, there's not.
I think there probably is.
No, I do
but
get to a
anyway.
stage where I feel sick. Only after
So when you've got
finished.
your head down the loo, you think, right, I've eaten too much now.
Yes, I should really stop. When I finish this bar, I will.
Yeah. It's like at Christmas, isn't it? You've got all the chocolates and everything's still there. You're never going to throw them away, but right, we've got to eat them today. Just get them out of the way. They're done with, and Christmas is done. Yeah, I know. I've done that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I did the other day because I discovered, well, I did know already, but on Moonpig, we order cards from Moonpig because it's easy to send them to the UK.
Yeah,
from here and
funky
everything.
pigeon. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered a card on Moonpig and it offered me a bar of dairy milk to send as a present.
Yeah.
And then I thought, perhaps I'll just order myself a card.
But it's yeah.
Send myself a present.
It's not really offering you. It's just, would you like to order this for the person you're sending the card
And then
to?
I was thinking I could send myself. I might actually send myself.
You're
a
going
card.
to send it for your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, with chocolate.
with some dairy milk.
They sometimes have quite big bars, don't they?
do
That's the
sometimes
trouble.
have them, yeah. But I didn't.
That's not good, really, is it? So, is it my turn?
I don't
Is it
know.
my
I did.
turn?
Well, I did chocolate, didn't I?
Yeah. For me, a guilty pleasure of mine is having some really, and I think this has got worse because I've been cutting down on carbs, and so when I really want carbs, and I love a big chunk of bread with butter on it, and then on top of that peanut butter, and I love it. And I did actually have that this week at lunchtime, because I'm allowing myself some carbs at lunchtime now, because otherwise I find I'm just too hungry in the evening. So
I think you
the
do
nuts,
need more carbs
the
in
nuts,
the
the
winter.
butter, and the bread definitely. And I've just really enjoyed that. Really did enjoy that.
Well, we are
But
lucky.
I'm
with bread
eating
here,
good
aren't we?
bread though.
Yeah. Oh, you're making your own, aren't
Yes,
you?
it's my own bread from the bread
Yeah.
maker. So it's cereal bread, wholemeal-y, all that. So I don't. That makes me feel a little bit less guilty.
And peanut butter does have protein in it. It's a good source
Yes,
of protein.
I should be finding the healthy peanut butter rather than what I'm getting, because I think the cheap ones have probably got stuff in it that it's not. Is it not palm oil, or is it palm oil? I'm not
Yes,
sure.
yeah. Palm oil is not good for the environment.
No,
It's not good for orangutans.
no, this is true. But there is something in
It's-
it where
they're
they say
probably
to
highly-
have the. Is it like a wholemeal peanut butter?
Yes,
That sort of
you'll
thing,
get
isn't
more
it?
sugar in
That's
the
it.
commercial
Sugar is what I'm thinking
brands,
of. Yes.
where you can buy peanut butter that's just peanuts. It's a bit claggy.
I'm gonna. Oh, is it? Yeah, maybe I need to start looking at the labels of peanut butter now that I've run out. I think I've run out anyway. So yeah, so that is one of my favourites.
Changing the tone somewhat. Picking and peeling.
Picking and peeling what, Sharon?
Spots, scabs, mine, other people's.
I'm currently cringing.
I do watch Dr. Pimple Popper, where a lot of people will know her. She's very popular.
And this is something that you find is a guilty pleasure.
Well, because people make me feel guilty. Because I enjoy it. And they go, oh my God, Dr. Pimple Popper.
I did take a look at Dr. Pimple Popper myself, and I must admit I did find it a little bit satisfying.
Yes,
Also a little bit cringy, but
yes.
we feel relief for the people she's popping, don't you? Really?
Yes,
some ways.
yes, in some ways. Yeah, yeah, she squeezes spots, and she's a dermatologist. She's not just like me.
But even
Doing it for
from
fun.
what I remember, even she is shocked by some people's problems, isn't she? She just thinks, but also thinks, oh, I'll get my teeth into that one.
Well, it's the American health system as well, isn't it? That a lot of people just can't afford dermatologist or whatever.
Oh, what?
to
So
do
it just
anything
gets
about it.
worse.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They
I mean,
can't
it's bad, isn't it?
pay for everything now, don't you? So I do like to see spots picked, and I don't have any myself, but I will pick up people's if they let me.
Maybe that's why you crave it, because you don't have any of your own.
Oh, I love a scab as well. I burnt my belly recently, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, with the steam on the
With
iron.
the steam on the iron.
Mm.
Oh,
Did it blister first, though?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I wouldn't have thought it would just scab. Oh, yeah, you got a scar.
Still got red
Show
mark.
me your scars.
Yeah, but I picked that on and off for weeks. That was lovely.
For weeks.
Well, the scab reforms, doesn't it?
Oh, my
And
God.
then I'm like, you need a good fingernail for it, really, to get the edges. Don't you?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I do sometimes think, I always tell myself off because you shouldn't pick scabs, because obviously it just
Who
doesn't-
says so?
Because it doesn't heal properly.
But I'm such a good healer.
A good bleeder as well.
I am a good bleeder and a good healer, and I
Yeah.
think they probably go together. But yeah.
Yeah, it could do.
So I do have lots of scars, mainly because I burn myself a lot.
Yeah, I've got
Cooking
the oven
and-
ones I've got.
Yeah, got lots of oven scars, and also from now I've got a log burner.
Mm.
I do burn myself on the log burner as well, and they're really good. Burn scars, I think, are particularly good. But my youngest recently, when was that recently? Now, but anyway, fell off a skateboard. Oh, she had such a lovely big scab on her knee, and she wouldn't let me anywhere near it.
I don't blame her.
I'm like, just let me do the
Just let me
edges.
get the edge. No,
Love
I mean,
that.
to say the only thing I can relate to that. I mean, do you remember in Potago? I don't know if people still have that.
Oh yes.
I mean that.
It's
I
a
mean, I
skin
can remember
complaint,
that,
isn't
but
it?
I used to find that very hard as a kid not to pick that. But
Oh,
again, you're told
right.
not to pick that.
Yes, I think that's because it's contagious, isn't it? Doesn't it?
Oh, that as well.
Spread.
Yeah,
Spreads
but you
into-
still, again,
yeah.
it's still supposed to heal itself. But that is the only problem with scabs. You're not supposed to pick them, but they do get itchy. So
They do get
how can
itchy.
you leave them alone?
Exactly.
It's the same with this one I've got under my bra line. Anybody watching videos will know I've been talking about mine, which was a blister, but now for some reason I seem to have found something that seems to be working. It's shrinking. It's now just feels like just a scab. And I know you're not coming in anywhere near it.
I've got this really nice
No,
long
no.
hard thumbnail.
No.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, but I can relate to that. But the only other thing to do with
sunburned skin.
yes, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. I can only remember, I relate back to when I was a kid and my dad used to get us to peel the sunburn off his back. Well, not the sunburn, it's the dried skin from the sun, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think I got a little bit of a satisfaction from that. But,
Well, you can recreate that by painting your hand with glue or nail
oh
varnish.
yeah, what glue's that?
Copydex.
Nail varnish, yes.
Nail varnish does the same.
I used to have it. I'd have it on for a day, and then I'd just want to start picking it off.
Yeah. Or you can just paint the back of your hand and then slowly pick it off in the evenings.
Have you gone? You've got a pot of glue next to the sofa, haven't you?
I haven't,
It's not a bad idea, though, is it?
but it isn't that long ago since I did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah, so I
you
will
haven't got
do
a
that.
craving at the moment.
I don't know where my glue is. I need to find some glue because Marco knocked her vase down.
Is that the sort of Mod Podge sort of glue, as they call it?
Yes,
What Americans
yes.
call it. What do we call it?
Well, Copydex is a brand name, isn't it? But school glue, isn't it?
Yes.
And then they banned it because I don't think it was that safe in schools, but it had that lovely
Oh,
what's that
because
smell.
people smelling it. Yeah.
I also like smelling things. I'm very in touch with
Yeah,
senses.
I mean, I like the smells. Like certain pens smell nice, and glue, obviously glue, but you do have to be sensible.
Marker pens. Like
Yeah.
board mark pens that smell of pear drops.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? We were sticking something not that long ago, and Duncan was sticking something as well, wasn't he? And it was that sort of pear droppy sort of smell, I think. We were both sitting here. Oh, it was lovely.
Oh yes, yes. I don't know what it was. We'll have to ask Duncan. I can borrow
I
some
mean, there's
for
going to
you.
be some people that find this absolutely repulsive, but I think there's a lot of people the same as us.
Well, while we're on smells,
Let us know in the comments.
While we're on smells, babies.
Yes, yes, yeah. Especially when they're just out of the bath.
There's nothing better than the smell.
When
of
we used to
baby.
put talcum powder on the babies, but then they stopped selling it even though you can get it, but they're saying you shouldn't be using it now. But I used to love that smell.
I have been known to go up to people, not necessarily strangers, but maybe people I didn't know that well, and go, "Can I smell your baby?"
Yeah, yeah. No, there is. It's that when you're holding them, isn't it? And they're up by your face, and you're having a quick
There's
sniff.
a warmth to it as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm meeting a baby at Christmas. Which is
Should
my,
I phone them and warn them?
Yes, which is my youngest daughter's partner's sister.
Yeah.
She's just a baby.
Yeah.
And I've already said, come around for the baby smells. She's giving them mad.
Right, we're going to take a pause and have some lunch.
Oh, are we? Oh, good.
We'll be back.
Should be having chocolate.
Okay, we're back. Had a lovely homemade soup.
Oh, it was delicious.
Oh, and homemade bread, of course. I didn't make the butter though.
No, you didn't.
Let the side down.
That's lovely, though.
Right, we're carrying on with our guilty pleasures. I'm going to kick off by saying one of my guilty pleasures is from something I watch on TV at any given opportunity, and that is hospital series. I just love a hospital series. We've got this new channel that we've got on our TV now, and I've earmarked about 8 or 9 hospital series, American, that I didn't even know existed. So I'm annoyed now that I haven't got enough time to watch them, but I will in time.
Does Duncan watch them
But I'm
with you?
currently no. It's not Dunk's thing at all. If anything, he doesn't like blood, doesn't like needles. He
Man.
occasionally, I don't know why he moans about it, but we're sitting watching TV while we're having our dinner of an evening, and something like that will come on. He won't even look up from his plate. He can't bear it. I can't deal with things like this. He wants to walk away. I mean, recently it's off subject a little bit, but I took him in to have a blood test, and I had to go with him because I was a bit worried about what he'd be like, and he was sat opposite me in the clinic, and I kept saying to him, "You're right," and he just was nodding. By the time we got out to the car park, he was white as a sheet, and I
Bless him.
basically had to carry him back to the car. So I don't know what's sparked this off, but he's obviously not alone. There's people like that.
It's fairly common, isn't it?
It doesn't bother me at all.
No. I've just shown Jan a photo of a friend's son's mangled
finger. Oh yeah. But yeah, so he
So I
doesn't
love
really
that.
like to watch it. So to me, it's a guilty pleasure to sit and watch on my own. Which, if I can't sleep at night, I will go down to the front room and I will watch that. When I eventually get a TV in the bedroom, maybe I might be able to. Depends if it's connected on internet or not. I might be able to watch it in bed, but otherwise, just at every opportunity. I'm currently watching The Good Doctor, which is
Yes.
good. So if anybody's not seen it, the doctor himself is autistic, so it has quite a nice, endearing sort of side to the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything like that. I mean, but it's not really enough for you, is it?
I prefer real life medical stuff. Gorier the better. Get really upset if they pixelate all the gory bits, because I think, well, if you don't like the gory bits, don't bloody watch the programme. I like real life operations. I like injuries. Sounds awful.
Yeah. And this is actually a guilty pleasure of Sharon's.
Well, because other people think I'm weird. Because like a few weeks ago, friends were staying, and it come up on a sport that this football player had just badly broken his leg. The first thing I did was reach for my phone to look and see if it was already on YouTube or not.
I think that might be a bit weird, that bit, but I don't
Yeah.
find it weird to watch because I think we've all got, or most of us have got that fascination of wanting to look. You see what I mean?
Yes.
It's not with anybody
It's like
with
look, don't look, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's not
Yeah.
if you see an accident, you're looking, but you hope still at the same time still not hoping you're going to see any blood. You know,
No,
it's
no,
just,
no,
and I think as well, it's with me, it's I don't like it's broken bones with me.
You don't like broken bones.
Well, obviously I don't like them, but I don't like to see it or hear it, and that goes back to when I was in school.
Right.
And in school there was a girl on the trampoline, basically, in this big sports hall. I was always nervous with the trampoline anyway, same as I've said in a previous podcast. I was always worried and nervous about breaking something, hurting myself. I'm just a wimp. But this probably made it worse because I just suddenly heard this crack, and when I turned around, this girl was fallen on the trampoline with her arm at an awkward position, and it just cracked and echoed around the sports hall. And her arm was hanging from just under the elbow down, so it's sort of between the elbow and the wrist, and it wasn't nice. And she's just going miss like that. Oh my god! And that was when I was about 12 or 13, and it still lived with me
50
now.
odd years ago.
Yeah. So it was just horrible. But yeah, other than that, most of the time I like to watch hospital stuff. I find it comforting. I suppose even more so I think you've watched real life heart ops, haven't you, Sharon?
I watched
and knee
heart op, and before I had my knee replacement, I watched knee replacement surgery. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I think it's fascinating because it gives
yeah.
you faith in doctors and hospitals.
Surgeons are such charismatic people. I think they have to be as well, because they need to be really sure of themselves. You can't have a nervous surgeon, can you?
Oh God, can you imagine? Yeah.
So yeah, I love those. There was a series when I was a child, but maybe a lot younger, called Your Life in Their Hands.
Yeah.
Which was about watching surgeries. Fascinating. I also watched some animal autopsies. They were very good.
Not sure I want that.
Well, they were big animals. They did a snake. Fascinating to see a snake's organs. They're just all lined up. You know, because
there's not a lot of space, is there?
No. And you know, there's like a couple of kidneys, then a liver, then a heart, and it's all in a row.
See, I'm saying I wouldn't
They
like
did a
that, but
race
I would
horse, and they
find
did a
myself.
sorry,
I
I'm
would.
talking
No,
about
say
you.
it's right. I'm just saying I wouldn't. I'm saying I wouldn't want to watch it, but I think I would find myself watching it just out of curiosity.
The giraffe was good as well. Just giant animals like that was fantastic.
It must have been a big table.
It was a big table. The giraffe in.
Wow.
Yeah. And a racehorse as well.
And if you don't think about that, do you? But I suppose they've got to, haven't they? It's like the same as you can donate your body to science, can't you?
I think I'd quite
These
like
things
to
are
do
important.
that. Yeah.
You quite like to do it. You would.
Well, donate my body to
Yes,
science.
I don't think you'd be there to watch, though, Sharon. But
No.
you like the idea of your body being investigated.
Well, being useful to someone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be using it, am I?
No.
So why not?
See, now I'm sitting here, in my mind, I'm laying on the slab, imagining people cutting me, and it's not a very nice thought, but as you were saying, it could be useful.
And you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
Either you're religious and your spirit's already gone to heaven or hell. I'm not making a judgment.
No.
Or if you're not religious, you're just dead. So either way, you're not there.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah.
Why not let other
Have you got a
other
donor
people-
card?
I had one in the UK.
Yeah, same here. I'm not sure I've got one there, but I've got a feeling. Doesn't it automatically come with your driving licence here?
Oh, see, I'm
There's
just about
something-
to get mine, aren't I?
Something rings a bell about that.
Yeah. So always did. Always had a donor card. And a lot of people used to go, oh, not eyes though. People didn't like to donate their eyes, but my brother, who actually died when he was a toddler, but he had a pupil missing. So I was always, anyone
That's
can have my
fascinating,
pupils or my corneas.
And I do
whatever
like
they
the
need.
idea of growing on in someone else, I must admit.
Yeah, again, it's another way to be useful in life,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And I think, I mean, again, it's only one of the fictional hospital things I watch, but I do think they get a lot of their stories from true life
Oh,
stuff.
yes, yeah.
And
yeah.
one of them was this, it's a lad that, I don't know how he became, I think he fell off a building or something, and his father hadn't seen him for a long time, and he hadn't spoken to him for a while, was worried about going, because obviously they called the next of kin, and he went to see him and wanted to say, can I speak to my son? And by then it was too late, and he said, we need to ask you, can we donate his organs? But his first reaction was, no, you leave him alone. But then eventually they said, look, we've got this patient that needs this, and we've got this, and that, a bit of a guilt trip really, but he in the end signed to say, but to give these particular parts of the body, and then when they came back afterwards, they gave him a list of the 61 people that
Wow.
that son's body had helped, and that's what makes you think, wow,
Yeah,
it's just,
that's fantastic.
yeah,
And also, you can understand the emotion of a relative. That's why you should have your card in advance, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you're not asking a grieving relative to make a difficult decision,
no,
are you?
and
It's
you need to
already
let
made.
your relatives know that you've done it as
Yeah.
well, because otherwise
mine
it can
know.
still be a bit of a shock, and they could argue it.
Yeah, mine know. And they know where the will is, Jan.
Oh, the will, yes. I know where the will is. At least I did know.
Well, I don't leave it out, but I
No.
do tell. It's you now. It used to be Fee when I was in the UK.
Mm.
So if I'm flying or anything like that, I would say where I've left the will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharon went in to have a knee done, and even then she was telling me where her will
Yeah,
was.
you have to know where the will is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't do any harm, but I always just worry about tempting fate, things like that. It's silly, isn't it?
It is silly. Because you can
So-
then be like my ex who had everything on his computer.
Yeah, and then no one can get at it. That's a good point. Yeah.
So we didn't.
Everybody thinks, oh, it's on the computer, it's safe, but yeah, you at least leave your details on how to get into it.
Because he died suddenly.
Yeah.
Oh, he was unconscious suddenly. We didn't have any passwords. We didn't know what his wishes were. We didn't even know if he had a will. He may have had a will that we've never found. So, if it wasn't on a piece of paper in his house, then no, we didn't know.
Yeah.
It's difficult,
That's a difficult subject, really, isn't it? I mean, it's like our friend recently that died, and he made it known that he didn't want a funeral. I mean, them sort of things start making you think, oh my God, what do I want when
think we
it
should have
reminds?
a whole episode.
Would people listen to it when it's so macabre? And
Of course they would.
put in the comments, would you like us to talk about things like that? What you want
Would you
at
like
your
us-
funeral
Would you
or
like
whatever?
us to plan our funerals? Because I listen to a
Yeah.
podcast with Kathy Burke, who I love, called Where There's a Will, There's a Wake.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's done with lots of comedians and things, but it is about planning.
Well,
your
I can only
funeral.
do it. Yeah, I could only do it in a light-hearted manner, because I mean, I can't think of it in the same way as obviously you do. You're quite up for that, but I'd have to really think about that one.
But it's quite nice because I told you Dawn French was on there,
Mm.
and she had herself embalmed upright with her boobs sticking out of some perspex on the bridge between, I think it was Devon and Cornwall. So you could just rub her boobs as you
As you
went
went past. That is a funny thought, I have to say.
I'm not doing that.
You're not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But I like the idea of it.
Right, well, the guilty things that we got.
Well, this is one we share because we talk about lots of our opposites. Nosing in other people's houses.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Well, that was touched on one of the videos that I've recently done, which hasn't gone up yet, with Vanessa in the hotel, or B&B, and we went on to that then because she was talking about they've got this gate out the front that's shut, and when it is actually open, I said I would be nosing around the corner to see what's there. Shell people do all the time. We can't leave it open, and she said, well, everybody does. Everybody wants to nose where they can. It's horrible to get
Yes.
caught. If you're nosing and you get caught, it's
Yes.
quite. I mean, it's right if it's someone funny and they just sort of wave at you, but they could get a bit funny.
But I
couldn't
can
they?
remember going on walks just around the streets, maybe when the kids were little in their buggies or whatever. Used to like it on a winter's evening, maybe just dusk before everyone's closed their curtains, but their lights are on. You could just peer into their front rooms. Love that.
See, that's probably why I always like net curtains up.
Well, to be honest, my living room was in the basement, and I liked that because no one could look
no
in.
one look in. I mean,
I love doing it to other people.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had net curtains. Sometimes I feel a bit old lady-ish with them, but it does give privacy unless the light's on. If your living room lights on, it doesn't matter if you've got net curtains up or not, people can still see in.
This is another of our opposites. I'm not a nets person.
No.
I have got sheer curtains up at my living room, and you can't even see in mine.
That's more like a modern version, isn't it? Like what do they call it, a voile.
Yeah, I haven't got lacy.
You haven't got lacy ones. I've only got
not
lacy.
a lacy frilly person.
I got lacy because when we first came here, that what we thought everybody had, and it was what you could get. Well, even now you can still get it.
You have gone for traditional French, haven't you, as well?
Exactly. That's what we were aiming at. So I'm not sure I like the plain ones, but I don't know. But yeah, the French have got definitely a different way of doing it. I mean, some don't bother at all. But anyway, so yeah, peering into people's houses.
And I love it when you say, "Oh, I'm going round to see so and so. Would you like to come?"
Oh,
yes. I don't particularly want to meet the people, but I'd love to look around the house.
Yeah. Or even recently, wasn't it, when our friends just bought a house not too far away, and we went,
and I did want
obviously
to
had to have a look at that, and we obviously want to see them as well. But you know,
I did want to have a look around.
But we did warn them beforehand that we will be needing a look.
Yes.
Which we did, but
and I loved that house.
I mean, it's like if Duncan asked me to go to work with him sometimes, I'm like, yes, please. Only just for 10 minutes, so I can have a quick look round, and then I'm going home again.
Yeah.
But usually I'm going with him because he wants help.
Yes, and it's I suppose it is to look at other people's styles, but it's also to just get a window into someone else's life, isn't it?
Just imagine the first time he said to me that he had worked at the chateau, and I was so desperate to see the chateau. I'd never been in one, so that was amazing. So obviously now I've seen the convent as well, you know, and it's fascinating what people go for. Nothing we would go for, but it's just, like you say, it's a window into their thoughts and that as well, isn't it? What their plans are.
Definitely.
Oh, and also at Christmas I like if I can just to see people's decorations, what they put up. It's always nice. Again, you can always copy, get an idea. I don't do it so much here, saying that, because we don't walk around the streets like we did in the UK, do we? We drive.
Yes.
Unless we're in one of the, like in a town like Lassay or somewhere, when it's you've got houses on the pavement, as it were, as you don't think we get the opportunities so much.
I used to when I used to walk dog, but then a lot of people.
But then that's in a village again, isn't it?
Yeah, just be once around the village.
Yeah.
But of course with shutters, can't see in anyway.
Yeah, when people shut their shutters, they're so inconsiderate, aren't
No,
they?
they're not thinking of us at all.
They're not thinking of. Well, there might be someone walking past that wants to see. Yeah. Right, have you got any more?
I don't think I have.
I think I can't think of any offhand, but no doubt over the weeks, the podcasts, others will find their way out.
Well, we definitely want to know their guilty pleasures.
Definitely, yes. Have you got any guilty pleasures? Let us know in the comments.
And how weird do you think ours are?
Yeah. Do you think we're weird? Especially Sharon.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm weird.
Okay. Well, that's it for this week's podcast. See you next time.
Bon
Bye.
weekend.